So this is a video I think we can all agree my channel has needed for quite some time. In fact, Kenshiro will also be featured on the coffee shop soon in a battle or scaling scenario. But today we're here to celebrate one of the OGs of manga, one of the original steppers, Kenshiro himself, Fist of the North Star. He is an absolute monster. And he's hilarious because he will literally vibe check anyone. One of the most entertaining characters you'll ever read about. And in my opinion, a surefire candidate for the Goon Hall of Fame one day. Now, if you want to see your favorite character on this channel or see it on the coffee shop, hit me up on Discord to talk about purchasing. My prices were cut in half, so definitely check that out. As well as if you want to come hang out in the server, play games, talk fiction, all that, check it out. I will update the Discord link in the description down below and you can join. We are almost at 600 members, I think. And lastly, make sure to like and subscribe. We just crossed 18K. Let's try to hit 20K as soon as possible. That would be amazing. Thank you everyone who's shown love so far. And without further adu, let's get into Kenshiro being possibly the biggest goon in manga. Now, first, we're gonna basically go in order. And shout out to my lawyer GB for helping me gather all this. Let's talk about his young Simba shit, right? So there is always gonna be like a master of the style known as Hokuto Shinken, right? This is like the scariest style you could think of in martial arts for them. And when he was born, Kenshiro, he bore the marks of the future master and lord of this style. So literally, right out the gate, he was given like that young Simba status. They were like, yo, this is Simba. This is the next GOAT. Like, we need him to be great. There's no doubt about it. He's the one. So literally, right out the womb, they knew he was going to be the realest, which is absolutely crazy. We then see later on in the next moment what kind of reputation this man Kenshiro earned for himself even early on. In fact, the legend spoke of him as a character called Yan Wang, and this translated King of Hell. This is crazy. Basically, what Kenshiro would do is bro thought he was Batman. Like, if he saw you doing some crazy shit on some gang shit, you were getting beat down. In fact, they said, like, the legends state Kenshiro at one point as the King of Hell ran down on an entire crime mob by himself, like a society, and just beat the shit out of everybody and almost eradicated them just by himself alone. Keep in mind as well, Kenshiro's just doing this to do it. Like, he's not using any particular techniques that are crazy. He's just going around beating people up and serving humble pie to these hoes in the street, basically. That's all it is. And then next we have a general gassing up Kenshiro. Now, this was pretty crazy. This general was talking about how basically he lives in constant fear of assassination from his own people, other countries. It doesn't matter. And he then hears the story of Kenshiro. Of course, when he hears the story of Kenshiro, he hears it in like a context of a dude that's just randomly beating the shit out of people. Basically, the Lord of Hell, it was known at that point and made clear to the general, was indeed a practitioner of the Hokuto Shinken, right? And this is obviously the Fist of Death technique. And the general goes, yo, if I had a thug like Kenshiro on my team, I literally would have zero fear of assassination. So basically, Kenshiro's reputation, drip, and ability scales above like any government weapon, anything on Earth, and just literally would remove all doubt for the general, which is nuts. By the way, not sure if I said it in the beginning, but 400 likes and I will drop part 2 to Kenshiro. Basically, there's too many moments for one part. So yeah, if you want to see a part 2, definitely run the likes up to 400. Now, this moment upcoming is having to do with essentially one of the toughest t-shirts we see from Kenshiro in terms of just like mad disrespectful. So of course, when you are the king of hell and you beat up criminals all the time, naturally there's gonna be an inclination by criminals and thugs to slide on you, right? So of course thugs pull up on Kenshiro's people. They put a gun to the old man's head and they're like, yo, let us know right now where the king of hell is. And he's like, nah, I ain't a snitch. I keep it a band. Like, I'm not snitching on my boy. And so he goes to pull the trigger. He was really going to kill him because he wouldn't snitch. And the gun moves out of nowhere and he pops his homie. He's like, yo, what the fuck? Who pushed me? Kenshiro literally blitzed his dumbass so fast that he didn't see him and made him shoot his homeboy for daring to put the gun to his homeboy's head. It was ridiculously disrespectful and scared the shit out the thug because he literally didn't see him. And again, this was a crazy moment too because the gun was quite literally pressed against the head of the old man. So yeah, shout out to Kenshiro for making sure his boy didn't get popped right there. Because he was like, yo, my man didn't snitch? Yeah, I can't let him get popped. And then following this up, it's a room full of thugs, right? The dinner table's right there, so Kenshiro's like, yo, peep game, homie. Like, I know y'all think you got me here. You can run, like, the group versus me, and I'm unarmed. That shit's cool, but he was like, you need to understand, I'm bullseye with it. And he gets behind the dinner table and just starts fucking them up by grabbing everything on the table and launching that shit. And so, forks, knives, spoons, anything. And it was boloing the thugs. They had absolutely no answer for this. At this point, I'm not gonna lie to you. I would have left the server. I would have quit the match. Like, dude, we're getting stomped out like this? He's beating us up with a dinner table when we have guns? Like, hell no. I would definitely have to leave because, again, that's like a lose situation. Clearly, he's faster than y'all can pull the trigger, and you're getting beat up with spoons. Like, just dip. That shit sucks. But yeah, Kenshiro was thugging them. And then, of course, you see the famous Fist of Death technique, right? Like, so he pulls up on the main goon who had the gun, and he's like, yo, I know you're the dude. He pulls up on him, puts his finger in the dude's head for thinking shit was sweet, and he's like, yo, if I pull my finger out, you die. And the guy's like, dude, your finger's stuck in my head. Like, please don't pull that shit out. He's like, too bad, dummy. You're dying today. And he pulls his finger out. And the dude starts asking questions. He's like, yo, what's going on? Like, why'd you do this? Like, why are you killing me? And he's like, yo, stop asking questions, dummy. You're already dead. And he just starts walking away. The dude's head starts expanding. And then you know the drill. Eventually, it explodes. As, again, don't let Kenshiro touch you, my boy. Even at this point, if he just touches you, if he feels like it, he can make your head explode. It's ridiculous. That's like one of the most disrespectful ways to put down your ops. Next, we have the hype job about him and the Fist of Death, right? So, these two dudes pull up on him, and they're surveying him, right? They go, yo, that's Kenshiro with the Fist of Death. They're like, the Fist of Death? He's like, yeah. This dude, literally with his technique, is so raw, the guy's like, yo. He would literally solo 1,000 men. Like, no one can actually fuck with this guy. He's a monster. Like, literally, there's not many characters as gassed up that you'll read about as Kenshiro. Like, the amount of respect he gets in the streets is absurd. They're like, yo, that Fist of Death technique, that's some wild shit. He'd solo an army. Like, I just don't know if we should throw the ones, boss. And his homeboy's like, huh, valid point. Let's fucking dip, dude. Yeah, they didn't really want that smoke, but again, they do pull up later, and you'll see how bad that shit goes. But yeah, even then, he had the gas of like being able to solo an army. Next, we have the unfortunate gauntlet of martial art masters, right? So there was a room of martial art masters deployed. They're supposed to be the elite of the elite, like the pinnacle of their styles, all that. They don't even see Kenshiro when he beats the shit out of them. He literally blitzes all of them, folds them, embarrasses them. They're just all done. Like they're down, and his people come and they're like, "Yo, what the fuck happened? Like why is this room full of martial arts masters down?" And they're like, "Yo, we didn't even see who beat us up. Like that shit was bad." He literally ran down on a room full of masters and just beat the shit out of them, going undetected. That's ridiculous. And they're like, "Yeah, nah, this shit's getting out of hand." So this is where we proceed to see the dude that was hanging out with the guy gassing him up. He gets in the fold, right? He gets in the mix. He's one of the goats in martial arts. He also is like emotionally scarred. What I mean by that is he's fought Kenshiro before. And when he fought Kenshiro, he wasn't able to beat Kenshiro. Basically, Kenshiro's the only big dog compared to him in his eyes. And he's like, "Yo, I couldn't even beat this dude." And what's worse and what traumatized him, Big Kenshiro would not use techniques of his style. He disrespected him by refusing to use his signature style and was still swapping hands with him. And the dude was like, "Yo, I have to get it back in blood for this shit, because you just absolutely embarrassed me." F in the chat for this dude for letting his swag just get snatched by Kenshiro. It was horrible, but yeah, Kenshiro, apparently just him being in base, swapping hands with this dude going all out, literally traumatized the martial arts master. And then, and kind of the moment we'll finish off, because again, there's so many moments, I could do several parts for this, 400 likes to get part 2. Kenshiro shows off one of the meanest stares in fiction. Don't at me. This man pulls up on that martial artist and just stares at him. Dude starts tripping balls like he just popped fucking Taz acid, right? Like he's like, "Yo, what the hell?" He looks at Kenshiro and he like sees Kenshiro now with like a moon backdrop, like a dimension. Kenshiro's stare is so mean. He was like, "Yo, my fighter spirit is being violated right now. A fighter, how I operate, it's being destroyed. My courage is being destroyed just by him staring at me hard as shit." And I was like, dude, how raw is Kenshiro? No matter how good they are at fight his goated stare. But yeah, anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you're a Kenshiro fan, make sure to like the video, run it up to 400 for part 2. And if you want to see your favorite character, again, hit me up on Discord. We can talk about purchasing. Thank you, everyone who's shown love and support so far. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't, and share my content with all your homies. Get them to subscribe too. Anyways, it's been your boy Jobbers and Goons. Make sure to check out my second channel, The Coffee Shop, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.